Hello. So I earlier filmed my BoxyCharm video. I wanted to do a chit chat, do some makeup. Takes me a minute to think or to relay what I am thinking because my brain goes so fast, literally. You know, like when you're writing faster than you, it's hard to explain, but yeah. And the whole attention stuff, like my mind's always on 100 different things. A lot of it stems from my job because my job requires that. Well, and I have a lot of random scattered thoughts because I'm so new to doing my channel. In real life or in person, it's different. So I can't hardly compare that to work because obviously at work I have to have like good communication and manage people and like everything under the sun. Like the first few times that I recorded, I just didn't even post it because I was like, yeah. So anyways, I was just gonna do some of my makeup while did a like get to know me, ask you question type stuff. Just because those are some of my favorite videos. I love watching collection videos. I love watching get ready with me Q&As. I obviously love the makeup nonsense bingo, I think it's called. It's like upper 40s in Wisconsin today, which is very unusual. Was asking about not inspiration but motivation. I could sit all day and look at other people's art and creation and looks and watch them do it and watch YouTube. I think my creative juices will flow more with time. I've always been into the beauty realm of things. Did go most of the way through beauty school, like way back in, I'm gonna show my age, 2000 and a long ass time ago. And I liked it until on the floor and with the other people, and it wasn't that I didn't like beauty school itself, it was the people that I didn't like. I went like between half and 3/4 of the way through beauty school and then I just quit. So let me do a little bit of makeup while we chat. Yeah, as you can see, I have very thin, short eyebrows, like I always say, because I'm an eyebrow freak. So I'm just going to try and do it how I normally would. This raspberry flex glue, flex hold from Pink Honey. So it comes, I showed it before, with the hole in the middle. It will last a very long time. That's where you're supposed to put your spoolie in. It works. So my handy dandy bottle of H2O, as always, I just do one spray because you don't need much more than that. Just firmly go round and round. And then I don't spend forever on this. I just go back and forth to make sure that my brows are coated. So then I just take kind of laminate them down. I just want to wipe off around because I don't want any other products sticking to it, since I go about it so sloppily, if that's even a word. I just don't like that big of eyebrows on myself. I don't know why, I just don't. I don't have a reason. Love-hate relationship with these pomades. So I have two. Both been pretty well loved. In case if I don't say it or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I use a pomade, sometimes I use a pencil, sometimes I use eyeshadow. I'm pretty sure that was in one of my videos. Time permitting. I like to dick around at my vanity, so sometimes all of a sudden it's time to go. So I always do my brows pretty messy, and then I clean them up, just because it's easier for me that way, and I have to do them first, not because it's what everybody else does, but because it ruins my other makeup. Plus, when I clean them up with concealer, then I can drag it down to prime my eye. So yeah, they'll be messy at first. I'm so used to just looking down and doing what I want. Yep, I'll clean it. When I was doing my Instagram and it was really successful, I was like completely dedicated to it for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden I just stopped. I don't know. It's been a long time, but I did do an eyebrow tinting once, and it's not enough here to make a difference. Yeah, see, they look crazy, but I'll get there. To clean them up a little bit. To this day, obviously in healthcare, we have to have a mask on 24/7, and if we don't, you're in big trouble. I also only knew of like big YouTubers, you know, for a while. It's no wonder everything was crappy to me that I did, because, well, they have images that the normal population can't maintain. Hello?
Quiet, this door won't be quiet.
Oh, it's so hot in here.
The whole house is hot. Nice outside.
You have a bottle up on the shelf.
On what show?
Right up there. My hubby. I'm trying to be quiet because they know not to bother me. And I get distracted too easily, obviously. So all I did was take concealer, clean them up, and then blended the concealer out. That's good enough for now. I just started using this one because it's been in my collection. A really bad habit of wanting to finish what I'm using so it doesn't go bad before I go to a new one. So that's why when you see my collection, I have a lot of untouched stuff. I don't use a lot at all. Yeah. So I usually just, well, this is like the illuminated one, so I'm not going to put it where I have concealer. I was debating on if I was going to use a primer, otherwise I would prime my skin first. But I did moisturize my skin as per always. So my skin is generally more on the oily side, but in part because it's dehydrated, so it overcompensates. But it's also dry. The outside of my face can get very dry and patchy. Depending on the foundation, I like to use a brush and a sponge. Not one more than the other. Just spray my beauty blender, damp a little, maybe in a second. I think last time I used my Too Faced Milani Conceal and Perfect. You can tell it's one that I like. I like Milani a lot. Oh yeah, that was my hubby that came in. Thank God for him. I'm not saying it just because he's my husband either. He's the best. Just took one pump onto the brush. Disperse it around my face. It was was going good with the brush, so I just kept with the brush. I do that to get in my smile lines. I do not rush when I do my makeup. Well, I do my ears a little so they're not like beet red, but I also have like my tragus and root, and those don't just come in and out, so I don't like getting makeup on them, but they're not anything like fancy, so you can't necessarily tell. My other earrings I put on after. Just like I usually wear a top that isn't like a favorite, because I almost always get some kind of makeup on my clothes. I always just keep a towel and just lightly wipe my brushes off as I go. Sometimes I use this if it's a brush I know I really like and I use all the time. But this little bottle I go through so fast, so I kind of put that to the wayside. Take my happy ass in there to clean them. It drives me nuts when I have foundation on my lips and put something on them so that they're not dry as hell. Then I'm gonna use, I've been pretty good at this, but that's because I use concealer every time. So I have the e.l.f. concealer. I do like the sponge for my concealer though, because rubbing, like when I do my lower lash line even, my freaking eyes start watering. It never fails. My eyes water, my nose runs. Since I said that, it won't happen. I think that's like Murphy's Law or something. Channel I watched, the bingo one, and I started with Theresa is Dead is the name of her channel, which congratulations on hitting 50k. I do pay attention, see, but I have been binge watching a lot of them. Emily Han came up in like one of her videos or something, or like was doing a bingo, or so then I noticed her. I subscribed. I've watched multiple, especially the interesting topics. I love that. And I do have a lot of my own thoughts and opinions that are, for the most part, very similar. And I'm convincing myself to do the makeup bingo. It's weird because I knew of Audra at home. I can't remember how. I don't know, but then I started noticing that I did have a few people on mine. And they were like all like collabs or friends or like directly related somehow on YouTube. Like Amy Loves Makeup, she was another one that I was subscribed to, but that's because of indie makeup. I love indie brands. You know that my face is flat and covered, we need some dimension. I always love a nice natural, ain't nothing natural about it, look. Natural to me, a glowy look, hell yeah. That just came to mind because this morning when I was watching Emily Han, I know that, I don't know why I'm doubting myself all of a sudden. She was answering some of the questions, and then I learned the symbol counts also that way. So yes, I was watching multiple videos of theirs, because otherwise I wouldn't know this stuff. She loves her blush and colors, colorful makeup and colorful language. I'm sure mine will become more and more fluent. It's there. I'm like, no, I can't do the bingo because what if everything is opposite of everybody, you know, like 500 excuses. Mostly because my channel is so new and I'm so fresh. See, this is what I mean. Ice cold water. Yes, I try to drink my damn water. So I can be very adventurous, but we'll see. We will absolutely get there, no doubt. Here I have this Friendication Dose of Colors palette. Just gonna start with brown like I almost always do. Don't line it right up with your lash line because you want to be able to connect the, if you do your lower lash line that is, or if you care to connect them. So in like real time life, I'm a very outspoken person. Given my education and career, I kind of have to be. Well, I wouldn't be very successful if I wasn't, I guess I should say. There was a video where they were talking about the work and office stuff, and that just comes to my mind right now because it's very legit. First of all, fortunate enough to have an education and the debt that comes with it, and I've been in my position for over 5 years. I've been in healthcare since 2007. It's definitely not for everybody. It is very difficult, but it's rewarding. The whole video that I was referencing about office culture and stuff, I was thinking because if I hadn't done my time, and when I see how some other people are, I try to be the difference, but I'm different in being welcoming and nice, and I'm also different in you better do your damn job. Pros and cons. People are allowed to have bad days, I get that. Just say it. Those of us that work like full-time together, we know who does and doesn't do what. Okay? Fooling anybody. I do see, well, we'll just be real because it's just in general, like, younger, it's typically females, but either they will come and get a little taste of it and that's it, or job hoppers. It's very, very common in healthcare, unfortunately. And I say that so lightly compared to what it really is. Almost every single healthcare place has high turnover. The way I put it is because I have a position of authority, but I'm also successful at it because I know how to do it. More times than not, not very friendly. Like, I mean, like back when I first started as like CNA, yeah, I was totally like that. I hated it, the clickiness, I hated all that. The other part was dealing with people you can't just work at home. I'm been off more because of my foot surgery. And you're dealing with people. Co-workers and clients. So people that are less fortunate than you, or me, or whoever. So if you don't have a passion, it doesn't work. First of all. Second of all, it's just not for a lot of people. This is the part that I confuse myself on because I am, but I am not a people person. And I say that just because when I'm not at work, typically I prefer to just be home. It's not a sitting job. Mine is a little bit more than the average because of all of the paperwork and stuff that I have to do that the others don't. But hence my foot surgery, on your feet constantly. When they say physically, mentally, emotionally, it's very, very true. It's how you handle it that makes a bigger difference. But regardless, if you actually care, which anybody that lasts in a healthcare position like that cares, you can't just forget about it when you punch out, or an exact saying that leave your baggage at the door, check yourself at the door. In reality, it's a nice concept, yes. When you work with the same people every day, you're bound to talk, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Can't give specifics or anything like that, so I always put concealer on the back of my hand. So the back of my hand is fine until I realize that I got to wash it off almost every time. If I just sit back and look, everything is just fine. I'm still using the same palette. How well these shimmers go with nothing on other than concealer. So I have a tendency of cutting my crease higher. See, my eyes are watering. That's where I mean the sensitivity part. We have all 4 seasons in Wisconsin also. It's really freaking dark. Seasonal allergies are just like a year-round thing. Like right now, generally speaking, everyone has their house locked up and sealed because it can get very cold. Although it hasn't been this year, the lake's still frozen and it still gets below 0. So I know that I'm going to be doing this. I do not do my foundation this, but I'm just kind of winging it. Now I lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, I was going to say do my collections of everything. So again, like most or many women, I like purses and I use them. And I have lots of so-called, or they really are, designer bags, I guess. I like to keep my, I don't like to bring the shadow all the way in there, because I like to put highlighter in there. And we'll see how it goes. I used to be a very warm highlighter type of person. I've become a cool highlighter type of person. I should just say that it's phases, less blended and dark. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about the other video that I watched about Texas and their weather, their weather. Ever so lightly. this is where I mean connecting. And if I don't know, for some reason I prefer to do my base first, but it usually works out better if I don't. Just because of how I do things and fallout, and because I would take some micellar or a little bit of some type of makeup remover and see, I don't like this one as much as the other one. It's too bad we're not gonna sit here and keep doing that. Normally I would choose a lighter color to make my eyes open more, and generally not blue because I do have blue eyes. Not that long ago, pretty darn good at multiple cut crease type colorful looks. I just really stopped doing as much makeup on the daily in 2020 because we literally have to have a mask on like before we can go in or anything, and it remains on all day. Consequences if you're caught without it. Me being in my spot, I kind of have to be an advocate for making sure that people are wearing them, so I would be the last person that should use it, and which you wouldn't, because I respect the people around me. Another part of like being in management that I learned is just because you have a title automatically you come off as, or people assume a lot about you, and sometimes know more about you than you know about yourself. I don't like how far in I got that. Damn it. When in doubt, blend it out. A long story short is I went to college for medical coding. It changed in the midst of my college from ICD-9 to ICD-10, which is like how they code and bill and diagnose codes and diagnosis and procedure codes. I have 90 college credits, which is ridiculous if anybody has any idea. That's more than you need for an RN, many bachelor degrees. But when it changed, I was like, well, I only have, a couple more classes to get my associates, and just kept on going. I'm very thankful for the knowledge that I have in real life about healthcare in general, but if I started spitting out those terms and stuff, I'd probably confuse most everybody, so here's my sultry palette. Ooh, it's got a pan. People are amazing, but I ain't hitting many pans. Not anytime soon. I love just a smoky eye. I almost always tightline my eyes. Sometimes a wing. I really am not good at doing my makeup and having a conversation clearly. Well, I usually don't have a conversation when I do my makeup, so in training, okay? I don't do this all the time, but I don't like how far I brought this dark shadow in. trying to gracefully clean it up a little bit. If there is such a thing. But yeah, working in the office, first of all, it's just not for me because I can't sit that long. I can't. I have to be doing something or reading, watching. I'm not a TV person. YouTube, yes. TV in general, no. So you'll lose me on those topics for the most part because I can't sit down and watch a whole movie. I get bored. I usually start thinking about something else so it don't make sense to me. So in that aspect, I'll seem like I'm really freaking dumb. Well, that's better anyway. I get a ton of compliments on my makeup almost anytime I go out. We have not been doing here in Wisconsin much. We did for football season anyways because still have to live. I will try to do this ring, but I didn't make any promise. So again, I would like clean it up and it would look better to me. But when you put lashes on, it also kind of covers part of a wing, so and block it in this one. I was taken off from work before I had my surgery, so it was a while already, a couple weeks. I tried to stay at work in a surgical shoe. See, this is me. Oh, that one's a little bit longer than that one. Leave it alone, honestly. I had my foot surgery on the 11th, I think. Now, what I'm going to do and today I also came up with a brilliant idea because I don't want to be hopping around so much. Use my little gold book thing and write down like points of the topics that I wanted to talk about because I'll literally sit in my vanity forever. Clearly. I have like really glam type lashes. Those I usually use for really romantic looks. I like Demi Wispies or Ardell Wispies or Kiss Wispy, the Wispy style. I'm all over the place. And that's that. Not wispy, let's go wispy. Pretty soon I will have my Cleona order because they go out the end of this month, beginning of next. I got the stained glass palette and like a couple multi-chromes from when they had their sale. Recently loved the face palette. Smells good. Much of a scent in my product type person, but I don't mind. So since I can't put my feet like under an actual vanity, I'm sitting on a stool. So we are working on something a little more comfortable. Something comfortable and something high enough is the problem. I'll just make my line. see, I'm like very self-critical. I have been all my adult life. Hence my college. It's made me very successful, but it's very challenging at times. So I actually love sculpting and contouring. This is just the Real Techniques brush. Fluffy brush. Here is my profile picture that I have on my media accounts. That's how light my hair was originally. I've always been a light hair on me. I don't know why. I've thought about like going on the dark side. I've gotten some like stronger low lights than what I normally would, and I've never went fully though to a dark color, and I can't go completely dark, nor can I go short. I've never had short hair since I was a little girl, and that would have been my mother. Yeah, see, my camera's like getting really warm. Although I do like sculpting like the outside, I don't do it because it creates a line that I don't like. So that's that. Take this. That's why I eat it all over me all the time. I like all the steps of makeup. Other than cleaning my brushes and washing my face over the sink. Because I always make a mess and everything gets all wet. It's running down my arms. I have learned a little trick of putting scrunchies on your lower forearm wrist area. It does help stop all the water. It all, trust the process. It all comes together. And this Morphe sponge, it's cheap. It's a lot more firm than most. I didn't get it wet, but a lot of times I just clean it up over here like that. Another thing is, I'm going to be repeating myself because I don't remember exactly what I talk about in the videos, obviously, and like I thought I talked about that, but for instance, my BoxyCharm one, I had to record 3 times. And then I don't know if it was like a good or a bad part of my video, so if I edited it or not. I try to just edit out like the bloopers, but sometimes I leave them in anyway. the rest of that I'm gonna let sit on there while I do my nudes. Your health, you know. See how salty works? I still have to blend it more, but I tend to gravitate towards more lighter on the inner corner or like pink and purple. But I love colors though. Absolutely. I'm trying to think of things that I don't use. I used to do everything really heavy and spend a lot of time blending. Now I know to just go over it 50 times with a little bit of a lighter hand. This is driving me nuts. It's like unusually hot in here. So that's what it is. Bacon and this. I have 550 freaking blushes and bronzers and everything else, but we'll stick with, let's see, I'll use this mini NARS Orgasm. It's a mini. This is what I mean. It took me like all morning to convince myself to get my ass over here. But once I do, I'll sit here all night. I thought about trying the GoPro that the boys have, but I have my good phone, I have a camera, I have another camera. So my blush is usually pretty much in the same placement between the lightness under my eyes and my contour. Wow, that's really... Okay, hold on, this is like... Blending is real. Emily, and is that what I said? I hope. Sorry. And fair warning, highlight hole. And I look completely different when my hair is done properly. Drives me crazy. I don't know if you can hear music or not, but I turned it to something normal, kind of, and it's okay. Melissa, you know better than that. I am a little washed out. Let me fix it. Ta-da! One of my favorite highlighters. So I go through phases. One highlighters too. Lord knows I got plenty. Sometimes I put like a lot. I saw Audra pop up earlier on my phone, but I was doing BoxyCharm. I'm all about supporting majorly. There are still some bigger YouTubers that I do enjoy. If I'm completely honest, when it was my time getting into makeup was like everything was heavily influenced by Jaclyn Hill. And then of course, you know, they do videos together, and so then you learn of another, and until you're opened to the rest of the community, a lot of times don't even know, thankfully. But you know, I like, you don't have to be 100% what I like for me to watch or subscribe. So then I like wonder a lot of times why it's so hard for other people to subscribe. I love how most people have put in their videos how it's kind and it's free, because it's the goddamn truth. It makes me rethink my giveaway days, because hey, I was always nice to everybody and supporting and giving, but I also don't like go around and telling everybody, you know, subscribe to my channel. Obviously on YouTube I'll say it, but I don't go around telling everybody in my personal life and messaging people and all that, because then I feel like they probably shouldn't be, or not shouldn't, but they're not going to help you anyways, because if they subscribe, fine, but if they don't watch or comment or like, it really causes more harm than good. See, if I put my hair down and did my thing, it would just make my face look a lot thinner. Well, I look quite different. No makeup to makeup, to hair up to hair down. These are some of the warm highlighters that I like, but a lot less. It's used, but this is a really hard highlighter. The old cult classic Rodeo Drive. Let me do my eyes. So I put on some mascara, and I opened up this new one, Manicadar Beauty Blooming Volumizing Mascara. I don't know, I've never heard of it before. I opened it though because I needed to get rid of my other one, and I don't like this one. It is very weak, clumpy. If I'm just doing it to coat my lashes, then that's fine. If I wasn't going to put lashes on, Sometimes I curl my lashes, but usually it doesn't hold anyways, unless if I spend 10 minutes doing it. That's just not really my jam, but where's the one that I like? For my little lash line. Probably right in front of me somewhere. Bigger YouTubers, some of them that I like are, or that I will watch sometimes, I guess, is Raw Beauty Christy. I like her. Allie Glines, I love her. So sweet and innocent. Usually on the, more so on the drugstore end of things, which is completely fine by me. So I have not used these yet, obviously. For the most part, I don't usually have to clip much because I can always comb, but I can't put it back. If I do cut my lashes too short, I'll just cut them into little pieces then, and sometimes just use them one little piece on the end instead of the whole lash band. I don't always like to wear lashes, but I absolutely love them and how they transform looks. Trying. So if you've ever tried to put lashes on, as I'm sure most of you have, but I'm forgetting to put in my helpful tips and tricks. Using the tweezers, which a lot of them are obvious anyways. Trimming them to fit your lash, and the reason being is if you have this too long out on the very corner of your eye, it's gonna go like that and drag your eye down. And unless that's what you're looking for, then that's not what you want to do. Buy a generous amount of glue, but do not try to put it on right away because it will not work. You like lashes, as you can tell. I have this one and the Tati one that came with the lashes I got once. No, not because I'm in love with her, because I love the lashes. I was wondering if she's ever going to go back to YouTube though. Just out of curiosity. She's still banking. Like a mofo. Sorry if I'm blocking you. Before you try to do anything too much with them, you gotta let it dry a minute. And let me tell you, you want to have that inner corner of your lash down good, because oh man, that will drive me nuts. Let me make sure it's dry. I like this one more. Yeah, you can see the wing, but like this, it does make a difference. It's just harder to tell when it's all together. I like to put a coat on just to get my lashes and those lashes to mesh together. I have been using this mascara for way too long. Buxom, I just love this wand. It's very, very tiny. See, they're just like very precise, and I especially love it for my lower lash line. And when you do this, you'll find out if they're on or not. I absolutely do not like liquid lipstick yet. I have not found one that I like yet. My hair is a mess, but oh wow. Dry shampoo it, but I ain't doing all that. Help that I constantly play with my hair either, and I'm sweating, so I normally have a little bit of bangs, but they're going out. I had him oil this thing so it didn't squeak, and it's back to squeaking. Lip liner sometimes, but my lips aren't much. This, I can't get rid of it because I used it like once, and just because. But this is a horrible liquid lipstick. My lips are so dry and cracked as soon as it dries. It's ridiculous. Anything shimmery, more on the glossy side, I'll have it. Sometimes I contour a little bit around my lips, make them look larger and fuller. So, for some reason, at the very end of my lashes, I have a couple of hairs that are short, and then I have that thing, but I know how to take care of that, and that's just the perfectionist in me again. Should probably look in the real mirror so I don't take too much off. That excuse me, but they lost it. I do sometimes watch a little bit of drama in the beauty community, but for the most part, I can go without it. I usually do just enough so that I know what's going on. Earrings, a nice shirt, a necklace, something with this mess. But, finishing off saying, I typically like to do my makeup and makeup related things and organizing my makeup and watching other people do their makeup and all that kinds of stuff because drama free. So I don't lean towards too much drama. I'll watch like commentary basically of the drama, but the whole full-blown tea, not so much my jam. We got enough of that in real life. Makes you be able to see my texture a little bit, but I don't give a shit. I have a highlighter, so it's going on either way. And if my hair was down, even just a little bit of bangs, I can just take a big round brush, my hair dryer, less than a minute. Normally have actual bangs, long like this, but they need to be like trimmed. Long, slipped over the side bangs. I don't always wear these. What do they say? Is it just a Wisconsin thing? Even though I don't give a shit. Bigger the hoop, the bigger the hole. I don't go by that motto, but I have these sitting here, and since masks, I just thoughts. What would you do different? Do or don't like? You won't hurt my feelings as long as you're not a complete jackass. Although you can be, and I probably just won't acknowledge it because I don't feed into that shit. Although, I don't really get comments, so we'll see how long that lasts. Okay, well, now that I have a full face of makeup on, I have to go back and put my foot up. Because I've had it down, you know. I'll go over my lashes multiple times though, and you can see them. It's just, I still haven't figured out how not to get it to wash out at a distance when I have all these lights on. So I should probably tell you what I use because I'm just not thinking of that. I did use the Friendication Dosed Colors for the entire look. I just went from lightest to darkest. Removed it on the inside and put a little concealer. And then I started with this one, but I didn't really like it, so I went with that. So they're mixed. And it is pretty. You know, I could put a lot more on, to be honest. Like, loaded on there. And sometimes I do. Okay. Well, it's been real. It's been long. And I am going to go so I can hopefully cool down my camera and import and upload and edit and all that good stuff. I'm going to try my damnedest to do another one like at least the next couple of days, and if I don't upload one, that's okay, but I want just to get myself into that habit. So don't forget to let me know about your motivational tips. I think that's it. Okay, I will see y'all later. Thank you for joining me. And as always, if you would be so kind, I would appreciate if you would like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.